Good evening. Coming up on the SUTV News Podcast tonight, we'll give you the most recent updates on the coronavirus pandemic and why employment numbers have skyrocketed over the past week. All of that and more coming up next, right here on SUTV News. Good evening, and thanks for joining us here on the SUTV News Podcast. I'm Jacob Hitz. We begin tonight, as we have over the past few weeks, with the coronavirus. And over the past week, the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases has more than doubled here in the United States. The CDC reports that there were just over 85,000 confirmed cases on March 26, just 1 week ago. Today, on April 2nd, the CDC has confirmed that there are over 213,000 cases of the coronavirus throughout the United States and its territories. The number of deaths in the U.S. has now reached 4,513. New York accounts for nearly 40% of the nation's cases, with just under 85,000 confirmed cases. New Jersey has the second most cases in the country, with over 22,000. Pennsylvania has reached just over 7,000 cases, many of which are on the eastern side of the state. The number of deaths in the state of Pennsylvania is at 90 as of noon earlier today. Governor Tom Wolf placed a stay-at-home order for all 67 counties that will last through April 30th. This stay-at-home order encourages all residents of the state to stay home and to only go out when absolutely necessary. Meanwhile, throughout the world, the coronavirus has certainly been felt, with nearly 900,000 cases being reported to the World Health Organization as of noon on April 2nd, with nearly 50,000 mortalities. There is some good news out of all of this, however. Italy, where the pandemic outbroke exponentially and caused the largest death toll than any other country at 12,500, has seen a dramatic drop in new cases reported over the past couple days. Last Thursday, March 26th, the European country was seeing an average around 6,000 newly reported cases each day. Today, the Italians are seeing around 4,000 new cases a day on average, and that number is still dropping by each day. Despite Italy's dropping new cases number, their death toll has been seeing an increase, with around 900 new fatalities each day due to COVID-19. The current death rate in the world for COVID-19 sits at 4.9%. During this ongoing fight against the COVID-19 pandemic, the unemployment rate has reached an all-time high here in the United States, dwarfing the numbers seen during the financial crisis of 2008. SUTV's Tyler Danceson has more.
The coronavirus pandemic has caused many employers across the country to lay off their employees. Jobless claims have risen over 6.6 million over the past week, according to Fox News. The start of April sees more and more unemployment cases and more people having to go to desperate measures to pay off their bills. Investors continue to monitor the situation on Wall Street during this unprecedented crisis. The Dow Jones dropped nearly 3,000 points on March 16th of 2020. This was the largest one-day drop since Black Monday in 1987. After Congress signed the $2 trillion stimulus bill to get money back in the economy, the Dow surged with a 2,112-point gain, the largest one-day gain in points in history. Despite the signing of the bill, Americans will not see those stimulus checks deposited into their accounts until the 17th of April. Today, the Dow Jones closed out at 21,413, a near 500-point gain on the day. Throughout the coming weeks, we might end up seeing more jobless claims, but only time will tell. From SUTV News, I'm Tyler Danceson.
On to politics now. The Democratic National Committee has postponed their national convention from the week of July 13th to the week of August 17th due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Politico reports that the DNC has been trying to avoid calls to postpone the convention due to the coronavirus. However, after former Vice President Joe Biden called for the postponement on Wednesday, the DNC finally caved. The DNC is also trying to find a way to condense the convention, with a DNC official stating, quote, "People are going to be hurting. It's not the time to be lavish," end quote. While the DNC continues to plan to have their convention in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the postponement now places the convention the week before the Republican National Convention begins on August 24th in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now a look at Washington tonight. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced earlier this morning that the House will be launching a brand new committee on the coronavirus. Here's what she had to say in a conference call about the details of the committee.
The panel will root out waste, fraud, and abuse. It will protect against price gouging, profiteering, and political favoritism. It will press to ensure that the federal response is based on the best possible science and guided by the nation's best health experts. The House Select Committee on the Coronavirus will be bipartisan and have an expert staff. The committee will be empowered to examine all aspects of the federal response to coronavirus and to ensure that the taxpayers' dollars are being wisely and efficiently spent to save lives, deliver relief, and benefit our economy.
Not all are in favor of this brand new committee, including House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy. Here's what he had to say about the new committee.
Inside the bills that we passed, we did put in oversight, and this seems really redundant. For any select committee to get up and running, it takes a vote of Congress. I don't know when we'd go back and vote on this. I don't know what the budget would be. I don't know what the responsibility would be. And I'm just wondering, does the Speaker not trust the Oversight Committee? I know she's got a new chair on that committee, or all the other subcommittees and all the other committees to go through, or the three new committees we created with the last bill itself. So it raises questions to me.
According to the Washington Post, Pelosi wants this committee to be shaped after a committee started by Harry Truman, senator at the time, during World War II. Pelosi also announced that Majority Whip James Clyburn from South Carolina will be the chairman of the committee. When we come back from this short break, SUTV's Bailey Casada will provide you with more news from around the world. We've got more right after this.
Hey guys, it's Leah Fuco from WSYC. I'm here to tell you about practicing social distancing. This means avoiding close contact with others. People should limit their socializing to small groups of no more than 10 people. Social distancing is a very important factor when it comes to the prevention of spreading COVID-19. For more information, head to cdc.gov. This has been a public service announcement from SUTV News.
A train engineer in California tried to ram a Navy medical ship with a train on Wednesday. Eduardo Moreno is accused of intentionally trying to crash a speeding train into the USNS Mercy. The ship is currently docked at the port of Los Angeles, acting as a hospital trying to relieve the pressure on other hospitals. The train crashed into several barriers, slid through a parking lot, and hit a fence, according to CNN News. No one was hurt in the incident, but a hazmat team was forced to respond due to the leaking fuel from the train. Prosecutors say Moreno said he thought the ship was suspicious and didn't believe it was helping fight the coronavirus pandemic. The lawyers representing Moreno declined to comment about the situation. One group of doctors are now claiming that they have a cure for COVID-19. A group of doctors and researchers from UPMC in Pittsburgh believe that they now have a vaccine for the coronavirus. The doctors claim that after 2 weeks, the mice they injected the vaccine into were developing antibodies. UPMC is currently seeking permission on the federal level to start testing the vaccine and claims that the vaccine should be easy to produce in large quantities. While it would normally take over a year to make a vaccine readily available to the public, UPMC is looking for a faster approval process. An airplane loaded with medical supplies landed at New York's JFK Airport Wednesday, from Russia, according to CNN. The shipment includes items helpful in fighting the COVID-19 outbreak, like masks, ventilators, and antiseptics. It comes days after President Donald Trump spoke on the phone to Russian President Vladimir Putin. The assistance isn't mentioned on the official White House readout of the call, but Trump said earlier this week Russia was sending supplies. The State Department urged diplomats around the world last month to ask their host countries for medical supplies. Officials at that time said Russia would not be asked. Owner of the New England Patriots, Robert Kraft, sent the Patriots team plane to China to pick up and deliver more than 1 million masks to Massachusetts on Wednesday. Governor of Massachusetts, Republican Charlie Baker, tweeted thanking Kraft and his organization for their work by saying, quote, "No days off. Thanks to some serious teamwork, Massachusetts is set to receive over 1 million N95 masks for our frontline workers. Huge thanks to the Krafts and several dedicated partners for making this happen," end quote. According to the CDC at 2 o'clock Thursday afternoon, Massachusetts has 7,738 cases of the coronavirus and 122 deaths in the state. An Uber driver was denied compensation after testing positive for the coronavirus. On Uber's website, the company stated that they would be providing financial assistance to Uber drivers who are diagnosed with COVID-19. According to CNBC, Phoenix Uber driver Atella Erzebek tested positive for COVID-19 on March 23rd and applied for financial assistance. Surprisingly, Uber denied his request. The company claimed that Erzebek was not eligible for financial aid, even though he sent in a letter from his doctor. Harry Campbell, founder of the Rideshare Guy blog and podcast, said he's heard from several drivers with similar stories. CNBC contacted Uber about the situation, and a spokesperson said the company handled Erzebek's situation incorrectly. She said Uber will be apologizing to Erzebek, and the company will be adding measures to make sure this does not happen again. One member of the White House Coronavirus Task Force is getting recognized for their hard work in a very unique way. SUTV's Tyler Danceson has the details.
Director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, Dr. Anthony Fauci, has served with the Coronavirus Task Force since the beginning of the pandemic. Dr. Fauci has proved to be the leading voice during this time, and one company wants to show their appreciation for his hard work. The National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum is recognizing Fauci's commitment with his very own bobblehead. You heard me right, a bobblehead. The Fauci bobbleheads are available for pre-sale at bobbleheadhall.com and will cost $25. $5 from each Dr. Fauci bobblehead sold will be donated to the American Hospital Association in support of the 100 Million Mask Challenge. Make sure to pick up yours today. I know I sure did. From SUTV News, I'm Tyler Danceson.
That's it for this week's news from around the world. Let's send it to Nolan Hoffman with the feel-good moment of the week.
With each passing day and week continuing to be completely unknown due to the coronavirus and what and who it has affected around the world, here at SUTV News, we want to share the most positive news we can find during these uncertain times. A patient from Ohio, Nick Brown, shared his respect and gratitude for the medical staff who helped him get back to full health in the ICU where he's being kept at due to the coronavirus. He wrote a thank you note on a window where his room was, and it said, quote, "This window has been the most impactful window in my life. On days when I watched you work hard to keep me and others alive, unable to thank you for the time that you poured into me. Although I will probably never get the chance to pour that same love and support into you, I want you to know that I think you all are rock stars. I watched some of you have good nights and some bad nights. What was the most consistent every night was that you care for people. Today I leave this ICU a changed person, hopefully for the better, not because of your medical healing, God's direction and guidance, but with the fact of knowing that there are such wonderful people dedicated to the care and concern of others. God bless each of you." End quote. That is truly remarkable. For SUTV News, I'm Nolan Hoffman.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the SUTV News Podcast. To get all the latest in breaking news, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at SUTV News, and check out our website at sutvnews.org. Make sure to check out our Sunday night podcast covering sports, entertainment news, and much more. From Nolan Hoffman and Bailey Casada, I'm Jacob Hitz. Have a great night, have a great rest of the week, and remember to wash your hands.